Croeso nôl, welcome back. This video is part of a series where I travel all the way from here in South Wales to Kazakhstan. I've been inspired by shows like Race Across the World and countless YouTube series, so I'm doing it the scenic way. And what that basically means is I'm trying to avoid flying wherever possible. Why am I doing this? Well, for football. Wales are playing in Kazakhstan on the 4th of September and I'm going to be there. And I thought it was too long of a way to avoid all of the fantastic places in between, so I'm going to try and check them out along the way. The distance between Bari and Astana in Kazakhstan is 4,000 miles. I've planned a very rough route, which is basically just heading east, which means that I'm going to be passing through all of Europe, across the length of Turkey, up into the Caucasus, and then hopefully across the Caspian Sea into Kazakhstan. If you want to catch up live, then I'll leave a link to my social media in the video description, and I'll be posting more regular daily uploads, sort of catch-up videos on there. So if you're new to the channel and you want to check out this series from the start, I'm going to leave a link in the description to the first video of the series, and you can start from there. Just a quick one to say, subscribing really does help me a lot. But for now, today we're in Niš in southern Serbia. It's Serbia's third largest city and one that tourists very often avoid. Only go into the major city of Belgrade. However, I'm going to show you why a little detour here could be really fun and might add a completely different element to your trip. And with that, it is time to say goodbye to Belgrade, and we're heading on to our next stop, which is the southern Serbian city of Niš. So in the Balkans, you have to buy a platform ticket before you get your bus. It usually costs a couple of quid, a couple of euros. Otherwise, they literally will not let you board your bus. So it's worth not getting here too close to when your bus leaves, because otherwise it's going to be a stress doing that. But this is what the platform area of Belgrade bus station looks like, and this was our bus, the Niš Express. It's actually a pretty nice bus, pretty nice on board, comfy seats, and the AC was working good, which is a bonus. And then we were on our way down to Niš. Took about 3 hours. Well, here we go then, folks. Welcome to Niš, Serbia's third city, the largest in the south, and I've got to be honest, it must be 10 degrees hotter than Belgrade was. It is absolutely sweltering here today. This is what the bus station looks like here. Pretty nice. I'm going to go and try and find my hotel, and then from there we will explore the city. As we're walking down towards my hotel, we've just walked past the Fortress. We'll check that out either later or tomorrow. As today is Sunday, I fear that some stuff will probably be closed today, and also some stuff will probably be closed tomorrow because it's a Monday. So I'm going to have to be strategic and actually do a little research into what's open on what day, so that I don't miss out on stuff, because well, I'm just arriving now at my hotel. I'm not exaggerating, I've actually booked the swankiest place in town. There are maybe 2 or 3 hotels and a few apartments. This hotel is 5 stars, apparently. It's called the Hotel Ambassador, and I've paid 50 quid for tonight. It's right here on the main square. So, I'm going to go and check in and let's see what it's like. Like I said, this is the nicest place in town, so let's check out what the room's like. For starters, a very nice large comfy bed, and a pretty sizable bathroom too. Nice overhead shower, which was much needed considering how hot it was. A whole little desk area, which I did do some editing on. And let's just talk about the view for a second. That is pretty much 10 out of 10, isn't it? Let's be fair. You can see all the centre of town. You can see all the way over to the hills in the background. And also a little extra bonus is my own coffee machine and also a minibar. I mean, I'm not one for using the minibar anyway. This'll do nicely. Fantastic, fair play. Who knew I'd been slumming it in that apartment in Belgrade? Okay, welcome back outside into the Inferno. We're going to go and do some exploring because I found out that one of the things that I really want to see here is only open today. So I'm going to rush there now, do that, and then we're going to grab some lunch or something, I think. Just got a taxi out to this spot that is apparently closed tomorrow, so I wanted to go today. It is called the Skull Tower. So well, let's go and see. Let's go and see what it's like. It's right out in the sticks here. It would be about a 40-minute walk from where I was, which, considering this is quite a small city, is pretty much right on the edges. Yeah. Okay, so I've got my ticket. It costs 300 dinars, which is, I don't know, probably around £2. Very cheap for a sort of major tourist attraction. But this is out in the sticks, Serbia. I can't call it rural Serbia. It's the third largest city, but yeah. The Skull Tower in Niš is a symbol of Serbian independence and is visited by quite a lot of Serbs every year. The structure originally had 952 skulls on, however only about 50 remain now, and it is from 1809, and it was built by the Ottomans using the skulls of Serbian fighters, and it was put up as a warning to ward off any uprisings against Ottoman rule. It's quite gruesome, and I'll be honest, I think it would put me off. But now it's seen as like a memorial. Well, there is another reminder, if ever we needed it, of this region's very, very turbulent and violent past. And just like that, we are back on the main square here in Niš. That was a bit of a short detour. Thought there might have been a little bit more to it, but fair play. Very, very interesting place. Yeah, taxi there and a taxi back cost like €5 between the two. It's incredibly cheap here in Niš. And there's a big statue here. Again, a statue of a man on a horseback in the Balkans. It's nothing to be surprised at. This is going to be a statue to do with liberating Serbia from the Ottomans. And then this is the rest of this square here in Niš. It's hard to tell whether it's just a quiet town or whether, because it's a Sunday, lots of people are doing something better than just wandering around town. So I've just nipped to a bakery. I'm going to head back to the room. I'm going to cool off for a little bit, freshen up, and then we'll go again in an hour or so. So yeah, grab myself a little snack from the bakery and going to do some editing, and I will see you in a little bit. Okay, we're back out in Niš. Time to find something for dinner. I've done all my editing work that I needed to do today, which is really good. So yeah, time for some dinner. And then we're off to some more Serbian football. Yeah, because I know how much you lot can't get enough of it. But I don't know whether that's true or not, but I can't. It's been great fun. This is what downtown Niš looks like. All pedestrianised, perfectly easy to get around. All over the city I keep seeing adverts for this Nišville, and it's really making me laugh. And it's kind of making me wish I was here next week for it. Because, I mean, it must be a big thing. I mean, they're advertising it everywhere. It's just some, like, jazz festival that they have over, like, a long weekend here. Yeah, it's just funny play on words with Nišville, isn't it? Let's be fair. Don't know who these fellas are, but nice to include the dog in the statue. Well, I think I'm either going to have to eat in my hotel or in a kind of fast foodie place, because pretty much everywhere is closed. It is a Sunday, kind of expected it a little bit. So yeah, we'll just have to have something traditional for lunch tomorrow before we leave on our bus to Bulgaria. In the end, I decided I did want something traditional, so I went for a real Serbian meal, which is pleskavica, I think that's how you say it. Ignore me if I'm wrong. Which is basically like a lamb and beef burger, I believe, with some cheese on top, served on top of bread, and it was delicious. Here we go then. It is time for that football I promised you. We are going to watch Radnicki Niš against Novi Pazar in the Serbian top flight.
Si popravio, ne?
Right, considering the zero expectations, I thought that was pretty good. That's the last Serbian football of the trip. The next football is going to be in Turkey. So yeah, that should be fun. It turns out the night is without doubt the best time to go out in Niš. Not only is it 10 degrees cooler, but that's when all the locals are out and about too. They were doing a screening of a jazz film on the square, which I thought was pretty cool as well. Good morning from a very sunny and very warm Niš again. I've had a bit of a slow morning. I had some breakfast in the hotel, which I forgot my camera for, and I've done a load of editing, done a load of uploading, so videos for the next couple of days all sorted. So that is my priority number one for the day done. Priority number two is I'm going to carry on showing you around this city. Let's have a little look. looks significantly busier than it did yesterday, so that's a good thing. So yeah, gonna go and check out here in a second, and then yeah, go and have a little explore. Well, welcome back to Niš. It's hot, but it's not as hot as yesterday. I'd say this is more sort of Belgrade temperatures rather than what it was here yesterday. Yesterday was tropical. We're gonna have a little explore of the fortress this morning, I think, first up. Annoyingly, most things are closed today because today's a Monday, and we only had a limit of what we could do yesterday time wise. So two of the things that I would quite like to do are off the cards for today, basically, and that is the Roman ruins, and also there is a World War II concentration camp as well. Both of those say that they're closed on Mondays, so not going to be possible, which is a bit of a shame, because the Roman stuff especially looks very good. Let's be honest now, the best part of going to any fortress is climbing all over the walls. And you get a pretty good view of the river and of the main square from up here as well. It's quite a nice vantage point. And actually you can see what room mine was in the hotel, because I've just realised I forgot to close the window. Well, if you wanted proof that this was an important Roman city, then here it is. Just free to view in the park. Pretty cool. As I said, this fort was Ottoman. It only makes sense that there was also a mosque here. And this is what remains of that. I believe now it's a bit of an art gallery. Even before this fort was used by the Ottomans, before then it was just as important. There was a Roman fort on this site from the 3rd and 4th centuries, and it's that fort that the Ottomans built theirs on top of. And since then it was used during World War I. It was occupied by the Bulgarians, who used it to imprison nationalistic Serbs. Yeah. Right, well, I definitely needed that coffee. I feel much better now. I think I'm going to grab myself something to eat, a little snack for lunch, and then yeah, maybe we'll just sit along the river for a bit. Like I said, there are some really interesting things to do here in Niš, but sadly my bus is mid-afternoon, so I can't do any of the... There are some battlefield memorials. One from the Second World War, one from the 1800s, but they're just a little bit too far away. If I'd have thought about it properly, could have done them this morning, but I didn't. And then yeah, the concentration camp and the Roman stuff are closed today, which is a real shame. I suppose that means I'll have to come back. So yeah, maybe I'll return to Serbia someday. I do like it here. Nice place, people are friendly, it's cheap. That coffee was only 190 dinars, so it kind of says a lot, doesn't it? Now, tell me that this is not the single greatest cafe that you have ever seen. Niš used to have trams, but they were stopped in the 1950s, and one of them was turned into this cafe here in the city centre. Personally, I think this is one of the best cafes I've ever been to. The toasty was pretty nice as well, but just for the interior decor, this is like second to none. and then I nipped back to the lobby of my hotel and I got some editing done. Okay, sorted my platform ticket, only 100 dinars here, much cheaper than Belgrade, and this is what the bus station looks like. I'm a little nervous. I've just realised that on the actual PDF of my ticket it says you must print this, and I haven't. And I asked the woman and she said it's up to the driver, and I said okay, if I need it printed will you print it? And she said no, so see how it goes. And this is our bus down to Sofia, Bulgaria. The ride is scheduled to be about 5 hours, and I've heard some horror stories about the Serbian-Bulgarian border. Apparently it can take hours and hours and hours to cross. So I'm hoping, considering I've got a 2-hour window for a connection in Sofia, that it doesn't take too long. Some of the scenery coming out of Niš was absolutely fantastic. Some rolling hills and mountains and all incredible stuff. We got to the border. It actually didn't take too long. It was surprising. Took like 15 minutes all in. Honestly, piece of piss. And just like that, 40 minutes early, welcome to Sofia, Bulgaria. I'm not complaining that we're early in the slightest. I thought it was going to be a real rush here today, but actually perfectly fine. It's just a shame that we're only here for a couple of hours because my thirst for football means that I really want to get to Istanbul tomorrow specifically. Well, as I've got long enough, I am on the hunt for something for my tea, but I don't really want to venture too far away from here because I've only got about 2 hours. But this is what it's like. If you've seen my video where I go from Istanbul to Sofia on the train, then you will recognise this because the train station is just by there as well. When in doubt, nip to a supermarket and grab yourself some snacks. £6 I paid for them, so I think an actual meal would have been more expensive. I will show you what I've got when I actually find somewhere to sit down. Well, this is a nice scenic spot for a picnic. I'm sure you'll all agree. So, what did I buy? What is in my bag of goodies from Billa? Croissant for the morning, some water, a can of Pepsi for now, some pastries that I hope are cheesy, and I also got a Twix, but I can't seem to get it out of the bag, and I've just knocked over my Pepsi trying, so I'm not going to carry on. So I'm going to tuck in to my little bus station feast, and yeah, I'll show you what the coach is like. And then for our last bus of the day, this is a Camel coach, and it was taking us from Sofia, Bulgaria down to Istanbul, Turkey. Really felt like a milestone in the trip, getting all the way to Istanbul without taking a single flight. The coach itself was actually really nice. I was optimistic about getting a decent night's sleep on this overnight bus. However, a 2 AM border crossing kind of prevented that. But you know what? I got enough sleep that I was actually able to function the next day. And just like that, we were rolling into Istanbul early in the morning, ready for another day and ready for some more filming.